Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to this channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this episode. Today, right now, we're going to be talking about Kiki Mordi versus Oge. I don't think it's a versus Oge. I think it's Kiki Mordi and Oge's story. A couple of you have reached out to me, and you really wanted to understand what was happening with the Kiki Mordi and Oge, situation and everything that was happening on social media. And, I just thought, you know what, I've been away, but I have a friend who can come here and help all of us together to understand what's happening. We just finished talking about Omale and Thames versus Uganda, and all that whole situation that happened with them, handcuffing them and throwing them into prison, quote unquote, and then bringing them back to Nigeria. So check that video out. I recorded it with my friend Folake. But Folake is also with us on this episode. Folake is a lawyer. She's also an activist and also part of advocacy groups that seek to foster the emancipation of Nigerian people. So I'm excited to have her here on this episode again. And I just want her to just give us basically what the lowdown is. Folake, you are welcome, my dear.
Hi guys again. It's so lovely to be here. It's exciting to be here, both as Akah's friend, but as a fan as well. I'm a huge Akah Bants fan. Absolutely love the show. So it's such a delight to be here. And it's lovely to come and put a legal perspective to these to
Yes.
this matter.
Yes.
This particular topic is even more particular to me, I guess is the word I can use, because I'm a
Wow.
women's rights activist, but
Yeah.
also I'm an entertainment lawyer. So in entertainment law we do a lot of different things: music, media law, TV. It covers a lot of things, and so this is especially because there's two women involved, two young women,
Yeah.
and this year we've talked a lot about lifting women up,
Yeah.
and not bringing them down, but lifting them up and letting them know that, look, we see you, you matter, you're important, you're special. And so this was something that was very important to me to discuss. And I was so glad when Akah asked me to come and talk about this on the show.
Sweet. Sweet, sweet. So, I mean, to give people context and background into this situation, if you do not know who Kiki Mordi is a Nigerian journalist who
Journalist, yeah.
came into limelight when she released her debut documentary on BBC I
BBC
titled
documentary.
Sex for Grades. So,
Sex
if
for
you guys
Grades.
have seen that documentary, Sex for Grades, know that it was Kiki Mordi's, job. Of course, she worked at on it, created and produced it with a team of people, including writers and all of that. And I think from the little knowledge that I have or something, I think Oge was one of the writers of Sex for Grade, I think. And but Kiki was the producer, I think, and the voice and the face of the and the investigative journalist of the show of the documentary. But I mean, after she brought out that documentary, she came on to be limelight, and of course there was a spotlight on her past work and work that she continued on doing since that time. I think it was last year that the documentary came out, and since that time people have just followed her because she's an intelligent woman. She's a feminist. She's someone who also is fighting and pushing for the emancipation of Nigerian women and black African women, and also women in general, like globally. And so I mean, just all of that. She's very vocal about it on Twitter. She's political about her views on Twitter. She's very opinionated, and so most people have come to know Kiki Mordi as in one of the number one or top five feminists in Nigeria. She also works with a couple of NGOs and to foster
she's a part of the feminist coalition.
Feminist coalition, and
One of the
I
founding
guess
members.
she's yes. So I mean, all of that has happened over the last year. She's received several recognitions and awards for her work as a journalist, which also includes Sex for Grades. Which is such a powerful documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out on YouTube. Sex for Grades. It's just a
such amazing work, actually.
oh yes, it reveals
really,
all the bad things that happen in Nigerian universities that you and I know happens and nobody talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just recently, for like we just started hearing about this Oge girl saying that Kiki Mordi stole her shine, or rather stole her work and took glory for it. And I didn't understand that. And I really didn't have the time to delve into that situation. But then also recently, we also saw that it's gotten so bad to the extent that she's also wanted to commit suicide. So I said, you know what, let's talk about this. Let's come and discuss it. Because a lot of people were just like, Akah, talk about this. We want to hear what you have to say. We also want to hear what happened. And I didn't know what happened. So please give us the information on this matter.
So, I saw this on I think I saw it on Instagram. So I think I'm more I just started using my Twitter sort of actively again this year, especially when and just before NSAS and during NSAS, I really started using my Twitter again. So I don't go on Twitter every day, but I check my Instagram every day. So a lot of news I see on my Instagram. So I saw that there was a whole thing about how Kiki stole work. Or okay, so not that Kiki stole work, but that um Kiki is getting awards. Oge's grouse was that Kiki is getting awards for her work on sex for grades, but that it was her, Oge. So she said she came up with the concept. She said she did some production on it, and she said she also, came up with the idea, but also, did the research and all that stuff. Now, that is all well and great. But legally speaking, again, I try to always I take the emotions away because emotions are great, but emotions don't get you paid. They also do not, I mean, in the real world, you can't always be emotional about everything. Sometimes you have to
Yeah.
try and be logical. And that's what I always try to do. So it was easy to take Oge's side and say, so if Oge really is the one that came up with this thing, why is Kiki getting the awards? And then what I didn't like was that there was a whole smear campaign online. Oge was not only saying that, oh, she should be getting recognition. Some of Oge's colleagues or friends were saying that, oh, Kiki, she's a thief, she's this, she's that. She should share the money with the other people that worked on the show. And I'm like, what money? First of all, I don't know, sometimes as Nigerians, we can be a bit entitled because the fact that someone is getting awards or they say they're giving a high grant or like a fellowship or a studentship or something, it doesn't mean they're actually going to hand the cash over to her. It just means that, oh, sometimes she gets an award. It might be a certificate, it might be an actual, plaque or an award or something. But sometimes it might be the opportunity to go abroad and meet some people with like minds and all that. But
So most
sometimes
of the times when these things happen, it's not money that
it's
is
not
basically,
necessarily cash
or
in your
primarily,
hand.
yes,
Yes,
that
it's not.
the reward. It's basically
Sometimes
opportunities, it's
exactly.
access, it's
Exactly. A lot of
networking.
times it's access is networking. Sometimes there is cash involved, but
Yes.
it's not like when you play tennis and you win and winning money is in millions. It's not that kind of thing. That's not so. I don't know where people got that impression of. Oh, Kiki, you have to share the money. Which money?
Share the money, everything
You're
comes
doing
out,
as
everything is always
yeah,
money.
like they're now doing as if Kiki is now one rich person from that one documentary. And especially because of younger people, me, I don't like when we misrepresent situations because the younger ones will
Yeah.
now get disappointed when they find out that that's not how it works in the real world. So no, it's not that.
Yeah, because everybody will now want to be thinking
Yes,
that
they'll
one
now want to
blow,
be doing
blow like this, you make
documentary,
it money.
and that's not. It's not. Don't do it for the money because there isn't that much money there.
Yeah.
So the issue I wanted everyone to take note of is that Oge Obi worked on Sex for Grades as a staff of BBC Africa. Now,
Okay.
the law says when you do work as an employee of a company, of a brand or something, once you are their employee, not
It does whatever work that you do with their resources under their time belongs to
exactly.
that company.
Now, the thing is that intellectual property laws state that, funny enough, abroad, the law is that once you are the staff, so in the UK, for example, so I have a master's in entertainment law in the UK, and so I know how intellectual property laws in the UK work. In the UK, if you work for a company, whatever you do while you're working for them is property of the company. That's what the law says in the UK. But if you are contracted to do something, what you do while the person is, so let's say I contract you to shoot a video, because I'm paying for the video, unless you state in the contract that it is your intellectual property, the person paying for the thing is usually the owner. The only difference is in instances of like photography. In photography, the owner of the camera, the author of the picture, so the person who takes the picture is usually the one who owns the copyright. But copyrights can always be passed down to somebody else. You'll be surprised to hear that documentary that BBC shot, even though they own the copyright, they've sold rights to maybe Netflix, for example. Excuse me. Sorry, I just had to drink a bit of water. They may have sold the rights to Netflix. So in Nigerian law, intellectual property, so when the employee does something, if the employee's contract does not say it belongs to the employer, the law is that it belongs to the employee. But most contracts always say that.
Always state that, yes.
Anything you do while you're working for us belongs to us. And I can almost bet on my leg, as in my right leg, that Kiki Mordi,
not the left leg, the right
one, that Oge's employment contract says, because I have people, my sister is in journalism, and she confirmed it to me that everybody's contract, and this is why a lot of people, when they're
every media house's contract,
that's how it is. It's the same. Anything you do while you're working here is for us, and it makes sense because they are the ones usually funding these productions. Yes, you might come up with an idea, but they are the one funding the production, and the production will not happen without them. So this thing that we are saying Kiki Mordi stole from Oge is actually BBC's copyright. It's BBC's property.
It's BBC's property. It's not Kiki Mordi's property. It is not Oge's property.
So we cannot say Kiki stole it.
Yes. Now, what I want to ask.
Excuse me. Yeah.
What I want to ask is Kiki Mordi a staff of BBC?
Kiki Mordi is what?
Or she's under contract?
No, she's not a staff. Kiki Mordi of BBC. Kiki Mordi was contracted.
Thank you.
She was contracted as an independent contractor to be the voice of the documentary. So to voice.
And was she also involved in investigative journalism for this thing?
To these places and pretended
on decoy.
Yes, she was part of them. And it was dangerous work. Let's not even lie. Let's not pretend that she wasn't, exposed to danger.
That's just what I wanted to say. I feel like this was dangerous work. She was the only one exposed. She's a contract staff, and I think that BBC intentionally hid the identities of their staff because they wanted to protect them from being attacked, from the government, coming at them or stuff like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this lady even agreeing to do that job with her, should I say, her real identity was already dangerous. Nobody heard anybody's voice at that time. I mean, when this thing came out too, we didn't hear anybody's voice. It's now that award and quote unquote money is involved. We are now hearing voices of people. I mean, the cameraman can also say he worked. The writers can also do. I know it is a BBC documentary. Do you know the teams of people that would have put in work, brought out ideas on how to direct it, on how to produce, on what to say, on how to shoot, on everything? Nobody's voice. I mean, I really don't want to talk. You know me now, the way I go talk, I for talk my mind, but I can't talk because now it's a sensitive issue. Somebody is trying to commit suicide. So we don't want to make things worse. But I really feel like if anybody sees this video who is close to how she eventually sees this video, I hope that she gets to understand understand that nobody was out or is out to steal her glory or steal her shine. It is, and I want people to understand that this is not Kiki Mordi's doing. Kiki Mordi has no intention of stealing anybody's money or shine. Kiki Mordi had no hand in the final output of that documentary and also what it turned out to be. Kiki Mordi was contracted to do work. BBC was the one and is the one that has pushed that documentary to how far it has been and gave credit and discredit to everyone who was involved. The pseudonym or whoever, I don't know if Oge was credited in the end credits. If she was not credited, it was BBC's choice, not Kiki Mordi's choice.
The thing. I said, look, when Oge had her, outburst, I said, look, if there's anybody Oge should be trying to, sue or be mad at, it's not Kiki, it's the BBC, depending on what her contract with BBC Africa is. Because the truth is, Kiki, does not own copyrights. She just, is the voice on it. And at the end of the day, it wasn't Kiki's show. It was a BBC Africa documentary.
It's not Kiki's show.
And Kiki was paid as a contract staff. And we all know that contract staff, they don't get insurance or any extra benefits. Nothing. Yeah.
So she was even the one with the most exposure. She was the one who was quote unquote the one who suffered,
because I remember
or the one with the short end of the stick.
When they did the documentary, I remember a lot of people. Kiki had to sort of lay low for a while because a lot of people were saying, she said she got attacks, like sort of like people sent her, online bullying threats. A lot of people attacked her online. A lot of people said, you better don't come back to Nigeria. Go and stay abroad. Go and hide out abroad. So, it wasn't easy. And the job, it's not something that is easy to do, and it's not something that is glamorous. BBC Africa decided they wanted her to be the face of the documentary and the voice of the documentary, probably because they had seen her work, her previous work. And this is what some of Kiki's friends, wanted people to know. They're like, look, this documentary is not the first or the last thing.
This documentary was not the first, and this has not been the last of her work. And to be honest, Kiki's rise or Kiki's should I say popularity now is not just based on this documentary. Kiki has been working before this, and she continued working on on bigger things after the documentary. So I just really feel like people need to understand that. And I feel like Nigerians, especially Nigerians, Africans need to stop this mentality. If you're watching this video and you do that thing where you see somebody else who is getting favor in a company or this thing and you attack that person, or you feel like you deserve what that person has, you attack that person, you're just a slave. If you have an issue, talk to your employer, talk to the companies, talk to the organization. If you feel you're being slighted, if somebody else is winning, it should only be an indication that you too can win, and find out why that person is winning or how that person is winning, and find out how that can help you get to win. Not that you try to pull that person down or start getting angry because you're not where that person is. I just feel like if anybody has an issue, they should talk to BBC, not Kiki Mordi.
Like that's it. That's
if
what
this
I
thing
said.
didn't blow now, I just feel like nobody will be hearing anybody's
I said,
voice.
Look, if there's anybody that thinks they have a grouse, that thinks that there's intellectual property theft that has happened here, that person should be having a conversation with BBC Africa, because Kiki Mordi, she didn't come up with the documentary herself. She did not, she's not the one whose name is on the production, in the sense that it doesn't say a Kiki Mordi production. She's not the producer of the documentary. She's just the presenter, just the voice on it. And the producer is always, is the one with the rights. So,
and to be honest, I just feel like this is also like just a result of bad counsel. I'm sure that somebody talked to somebody and they started taunting her or taunting the person that it's your work now that somebody else is using to shine, and she started feeling. And as Nigerians, she know they read contracts. When she got employment as journalist or writer, she just signed. She didn't read to know that she doesn't have a right to even feel the way she's feeling. And I mean, what do you think should be BBC's Africa's position on this issue as regards dealing with this situation?
To be honest, maybe I don't. So here's the thing.
It's tough.
If
I
I
know
were
it's
BBC
tough.
Africa, I would probably not even like comment because at the end of the day, BBC doesn't owe them an explanation.
Doesn't owe anybody else an explanation. But what I even meant by that question was, what would you
Okay,
do
and
with
what
regards
she's
like
going
Oge
through.
and
So
like, would
yeah,
you
I mean,
would you
if I
what
was
she's
her
going
employer,
through?
I would definitely give her some time off. And I would also
And also explain to her
I'll explain the
her true
situation. I
position
will
in this
show her
matter.
her contract, tell her what it means, ask her to even get independent legal advice on the issue. Then I would insist, like mandatory, I would insist that she
Go
gets
see a therapist.
mental health help because suicide is not a
Yeah,
joke. It's not something that you know you should that should be
that's
taken
right.
lightly. And so I would insist that she does some sessions with a therapist, and it's only when the therapist has cleared her that I would let her come back to work.
You will allow her come back to work. And I don't know if anybody out there knows, if you guys don't know, like Oge, who has been saying that, oh, Kiki Mordi took her credit or her shine on this project, she tried to commit suicide. And this one, like, for like this was quite scary because this was not suicide of, oh, she committed suicide and made a call. She did not call. Like, this was real, actual attempt at killing oneself.
Where
Like,
did she go?
she went there. It is scary. So like no, like she went there, like she took two bottles of this of sniper,
Why
and
do
she
people
just passed
take
out. It was somebody who had
sniper?
tried to call her and then just came into the house. My dear, sniper
That is
tough, oh,
not a good
sniper
way to
tough.
go.
Sniper, if rat
Sniper
smoke
is not
sniper,
a
if
good way
it
to
die.
even go. Here's the thing. I'm actually kind of glad I'm on this episode because I've had my mental health struggles. Um, I I struggled with depression and anxiety, and and it's one of those things that it's not like you are suddenly just cured. I still have my bad days, so that is something that I'm still sort of working. That's something that I'm still working through. But I'll tell you that taking care of your mental health is important. And if you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It happens to the best, the brightest, most beautiful minds. Sometimes it's pressure. Sometimes you just feel like it's all too much. But suicide is never the answer, ever, because it doesn't fix anything. And, the pain you think you feel that is enough for you to, try and attempt the end. Imagine the pain that your loved ones will be in, like forever. For as long as they live, they would always blame themselves for, your death. And so suicide it's never the answer, ever. And so if you ever feel like you're feeling that way, please get help. I beg you. And there's help. There's so much help available. You know, the therapists, there's so many organizations, there's mentally aware on Instagram. If you search mentally aware Nigeria, mentally aware is a an NGO that sort of helps people with mental health issues. There are a lot of therapists, a lot. People don't think that we have therapists in Nigeria, but we do. We do. And um, if you go on Instagram, apart from mentally aware, there's emotions doctor. There are a lot of people who will help you through whatever you're feeling. So please, I beg you, if you're struggling, reach out. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to me if you like. And I promise I'll get you the help that you require. But suicide is never the answer. And the
Did
sad
she
thing,
actually also
sorry, go
yeah.
on. Did she actually?
Did she actually also like accuse Kiki of getting favors via sex?
So that's what I was getting into. The sad thing about the whole situation was, apart from the fact that Oge, felt bad enough to want to commit suicide, it started a whole smear campaign. She posted a series of tweets, even though later she said, oh, that she didn't say Kiki's name. But the thing is, you you've already put it out there, and people are thinking it already. They think you're talking about Kiki, whether or not you were talking about Kiki, or whether you were talking about Kiki and you didn't have the balls to put her name. But at the end of the day, that was a smear campaign. You ruined her reputation because she went into saying that, oh, whoever she was talking about only got the role because she slept with the producer or whatever who was working on it. And she said something like, oh, that it was obvious when I saw you two that there was something more than work between you people. And I saw you um you know, having, I think there was another tweet where she said, oh, I saw you people together having sexual relations. Or, I mean, it got really messy. And what hurt me the most was there were people bashing Oge, there were people bashing Kiki. And, these are two young women. It's been a tough year, a very tough year. It's been a tough year for
Chai.
Black people. It's been a tough year for Nigerians. And it's been a very tough year for Black women. A very, very hard year for Black women, especially Nigerian women. And for you to, and this is why I say to people, you have to be careful what you're putting out online. I saw some of those tweets and they were hurtful. They were a lot. They were really
And Twitter now,
evil.
it doesn't take long for somebody to be insulting with passion. That's coming for your soul, your father, your children.
Yes, it
Like,
was it was
Twitter is
too much.
so
And
toxic, can be
yeah,
toxic sometimes, and
toxic.
not really. So sometimes they will leave the issue or leave the matter at hand or the
Yes.
real issue and start going after the,
Like
like,
it was too much and it really broke my heart. And I said, no. Like these are young women who should be raising each other up. I don't know Kiki personally, but when I saw when I saw that she got the award, in fact, I tweeted, I said, oh, this whole Kiki and Oge thing, I'm pretty sure it's in Oge's contract that BBC, owns the copyright. And neither Kiki nor Oge can even lay claim to the documentary. And so nobody stole anything from anybody. And I said, anyway, congratulations, Kiki, on the award. Because you should be lifting them up and not castigating them or saying horrible things about them. And the problem is people don't know the power of their hands and their phone and their tweets. It always starts with one tweet. You know that till tomorrow you cannot erase it from people's minds that Kiki is someone that sleeps around to get ahead because of that thing.
yeah,
Till tomorrow, people will say it, they will think it. That is unfair.
that is
It,
really
it's
unfair.
it's most
And
unfair to belittle
let,
someone else's work.
yeah,
What?
and let me even read some of the tweets, some of the things she said. She said a tweet, I was a young and naive baby journalist at the time. I was eager to please, not knowledgeable enough about politics of these things, and trusted that C wouldn't use my um, exceptional skills and dump me for someone he felt had more sensational appeal. Someone who played no extraordinary role to the whole thing. Number one, she has already even started coming at the work that this girl did and saying it was
Yeah.
not
And
extraordinary.
also,
Take out the
also the
role I
man,
played
or
and
the man that she said she
would have.
slept with, she has already abused that one too.
Yeah, and take out the role I played, and it would have fallen flat with no one giving it more than a 2 second glance. God only
Yeah.
knows what you did to make him give you such opportunity because I wouldn't put a sexual ... So get your bag, sis, and I'm sorry for all the heat you got. It wasn't your fault. We good, but if you send me links to any more of your latest works and awards, I go change them for you. Day your day, and we good. As for raving dog, ignore. She will find her next victim soon. Look, the truth is that for like at the end of the day, we are human beings, so we don't know everything. Do you understand? We don't know.
Yeah.
But we can only talk about like principles basically. And the truth is
Yeah.
that principally, this is not how things should be handled, or this is not how things
No,
should.
ever,
Yeah,
ever. It's not.
yeah,
It's not, and it's sad because these are young women, and you have so far to go and so long to go in your career.
career.
And And
I mean,
these
she was giving
things,
credit as Alabi, Kemi Alabi, and she was okay with that. She must have also signed consent, forms for that. She was okay with that. So I mean, saying
so
that
she was
somebody
giving
else should give
credit
her,
then.
she was
She
yeah, but with
was.
using another name, an anonymous name,
Well, that's still credit.
yeah, that's credit. And I just feel like, telling somebody else or blaming them for not giving you credit with your real name after months later, like, I just feel like, that's not right. I mean, okay, so I apologize for what I said about Sniper. I'm not sure it's Sniper, but before she released a video and she said cyanide or ricin, she asked. And of course, people got to know that, oh, she was attempting suicide after a, tearful video which she released crying and saying she was sorry. And then, I mean, Twitter went haywire. I mean, there were a lot of people who, and of course a lot of people, a lot of men who have had enough of Kiki Mordi, who hate Kiki Mordi because of her feminism stand. He
Yes.
used this
Oh,
opportunity to now
and
fight
don't even
and
get me
tag this to
started.
be women versus women helping women, you all are trash.
People
It's things
like
like this. Yeah.
you know who? He actually
He's a
tweeted, and that
lie.
was the
He's
saddest
a
thing. He
lie.
tweeted,
Don't tell me that that man, what's his name? I've even forgotten his name. That's how bad it is now. And Sega Links.
Sega Link.
Nintendo.
Sega Link. He
Oh, don't
tweeted.
tell me that Nintendo tweeted. What did he
He
say?
did.
Oh my
Shame
god.
on him. Like,
The effrontery.
shame on that man. Yes, I said it on the
What did he
internet.
say?
Shame.
Anyways, I think we've got a proper understanding of what happened. And if you guys want to check more, delve into it, I mean, the internet is there for you. Go on Twitter, Google, or type in hashtags Oge or Kiki Mordi, or just go on the Google and type that out, and it will bring out results for you to see. But we just wanted to use this opportunity to basically tell you guys who've been asking me to talk about it, basically bring it to your attention and also give perspective to it. And that's why I also have Folake here, who gave great perspective that I might not have been able to give. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and also a like, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Folake, I'm grateful for you, man. Thank you so much for making today's episode my job easy, man. I love you.
Love you so much. And you guys, the notification gang, keep showing love, keep
Yay!
liking, keep giving thumbs up, and I hope to be on another episode soon. And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
It's at flakes_ff.
Yeah.
It's been such a delight
Oge.
being here, and see you guys soon, hopefully.
We'll see you soon. Yes. And guys, please make sure you check out Ndi Kato's YouTube channel. Check it out.
Yeah.
Because I was just excited, really, really excited when I knew that she released a YouTube channel. And I feel like you guys are going to get really educated. Guys, if you're passionate about Nigerian politics, what's happening here, I think you'll love Ndi Kato's channel. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace. It's been real. Bye.
Bye.